Today we're going to talk about PoSciDon DAO as they just finalized their initial whitelisting of early adopters or early supporters access to the pre-sale, which will be happening in the next couple of months. So a lot of you guys are talking about PoSciDon DAO, so I figured what a better time than the present right now to kind of go through an overview and explain what it is they're doing, who the team is, and the unique dual token model for their ecosystem. I'm very excited as I've been talking with PoSciDon DAO for a little bit now, and I'm very bullish on the team, their advisors, and what they're actually aiming to solve using this DAO. So yes, PoSciDon DAO is a DAO, surprise, surprise. It's also part of Decentralized Science, otherwise you wouldn't be seeing it on this YouTube channel or on this page at all, because I'm sure I'm repurposing this. Now, I want to get straight into everything. So going over to their website, you'll see they're revolutionizing research for funding personalized medicine. What exactly does that mean? I know I'm going to the white paper, so I'm scaring off a lot of people, but if you're willing to sit through it, it's going to be worth your time. When doctors diagnose patients with the same disease, they often give them the same medical care, even though everyone's genes are different. Small changes in our genes can make a big difference in our health. More than 90% of people have differences in their genetics that affect how they respond to treatments. That's not that novel of an idea, right? What's unique about PoSciDon DAO in this white paper is that they cite literally everything. They have 2 pages of academic articles which they cited at the bottom of this white paper. That takes a lot of time to put something together like this, so props to you guys. Personalized medicine, PM, consists of giving specific and customized treatments for each person. Focusing mostly on their genetic background, PM, sometimes referred to as precision medicine, is an approach to research and development of novel therapies that treat patient subpopulations of a target disease. For example, pancreatic cancer. You know, this is the second time I've recorded this video. My brain's moving quicker than my mouth, and so you just kind of have to put up with it because I'm not doing it again. Pancreatic cancer, different cancers. So there's several different cancers in which they're going to be focusing on. The first, and I think what they're most bullish on conducting research with, is pancreatic cancer. I'll touch on the others in just a moment, but I want to continue to go forward with this. So in this case, a PM approach would consist of creating therapies that only target one subpopulation and not the whole population of PDAC patients. Current treatments targeting the whole PDAC population only result in 9% survival, which is terrible, 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 terrible. So some of the benefits of PM are improved diagnostic accuracy, tailored treatments, reduction in trial and error, better outcomes, cost effectiveness, prevention and risk reduction, enhanced drug development, and early detection and intervention. So the reason why this is hitting home for me, the reason why I'm giving PoSciDon DAO so much of my attention, despite having a small number of followers, despite not having a ton of people in their Discord, what I'm doing right now is very early due diligence into something that I think is going to be an enormous field over the next decade or so. I think this is going to be a multi-decade long play as an industry, and I think PoSciDon DAO being something in crypto that is focusing heavily on personalized medicine is going to be huge. Why am I so excited about it? I've had a huge passion for personalized medicine and the idea of getting your genome sequenced to give you key determining character traits of different risk factors for diseases that you're going to potentially get because of a genetic link. I think your genetics play a much larger role than we understand right now when it comes to being sick. And so PoSciDon DAO, I'm super excited for. As you guys may or may not know, I used to work as a shift lead for a genetic analyst company out of Boston with 15 to 20 different scientists on my team that I was helping just push forward in the industry. I was working with a lot of different big names in pharmacology and different colleges around the area to do different sequencing tactics for them so that they could create personalized medicine. So this is an industry that is evolving very quickly. And so I'm excited to see a very well put together team here tackling this. So Marco and Ayat, I have talked with them both personally multiple times now as I'm trying to root myself a little bit deeper into the team. Maybe this last little spot here is going to be for my profile photo. Who knows? Who knows? I want to work with them on a closer basis, just for full disclosure. So there may be an announcement in the near future in which I say I'm helping them, but nothing is solidified yet. I'm just trying to get some insider information from them for you guys. I'm excited for these two people because they're both young, they're both driven, they're both very passionate about what they're doing. And I think that based off these advisors that they have on the list, Mac and Chris from Axon DAO, they kind of understand how to play the entire game. So Chris and Maxon are from Axon DAO. They're the co-founders of Axon DAO, and Axon had a very successful launch into the entire ecosystem, into the sphere of DeSci. I'm not just talking about the token, I'm talking about their connections. They're literally in an NVIDIA incubator program. They've made connections with all the other top DeSci projects out there. They have connections to the actual medical research and industry from decades of experience between the two of them. And so getting two people like Mac and Chris on your advisory board is a very good idea for these two individuals. So I'm very excited for that. And you'll actually notice, moving on to kind of the tokenomics of everything, you'll notice that their approach to launching the token is very similar to what Axon did. So I wrote it down here, but they're doing an early community sale, which just ended. They just finished the whitelist for it. So for the ticker Psi on the Base network, which I could not be more bullish on that because Base is going to remove the fees and there won't be a need for bridging later. Most of these DeSci projects seem to launch on Ethereum, then bridge to a bunch of other chains, and it just causes confusion. So just starting on Base is a good idea. There's 21.1 cents per token price. 94,550 tokens in this little pre-sale, and you can use USDC or ETH on Base. But they're doing the early community sale, then they're going to Pink Sheet, then they'll be doing Fjord Foundry for that liquidity bootstrapping pool to decide what price it'll actually launch at, and then they have the LP on Uniswap. So what's interesting about Fjord Foundry is it rapidly decays in the valuation of the project until you get to a spot where the market is okay with the value of that project. So right now, the fully diluted valuation of the project is set to be $4 million. However, only 10% of the tokens will be in circulation upon launch, meaning the actual circulating market cap will be $400,000. So I'm very excited for something that new, that small in the ecosystem, because a lot of projects are launching at 5 to 10 or even $100 million. And I think that is a little bit overzealous for the current market structure and market sentiment around decentralized science. So I think 400,000 is a good idea. As far as the distribution, 8% for investors, 15% for DAO operators, 37% for the foundation, and 40% for the community. So they go down to break it out even further and view some of the different vesting periods you can see for everyone who's getting in and the different allocations of tokens that they're getting. I want to talk about kind of their unique dual token model here and how they plan on making revenues for the company, because the company needs to have money coming in order for everything to survive over the long run, right? We have about a year left of the bull market in crypto, and companies need to figure out how to become profitable in that year if they want to survive the bear market, which inevitably is going to come and wipe out half the industry as it does every single 4 years. So people who understand that can understand the importance of setting up very specific revenue generating models for their companies or their DAOs in this case. So the 4 sources are a 1% transaction fee, which will be distributed such as 1/3 in the treasury, 1/3 in research wallet, and 1/3 back to the LP. Low-hanging fruit studies such as simulated experiments or AI research, so things that can complete quickly so they can try and get revenue going from those completed studies. Equity and funded biotech companies. If you've been paying attention to things like VitaDAO, they've launched 2 or 3 different biotech companies, so equity within those companies. And then IP generated from research, which is the virtuous loop, which we talk about all the time on this channel, where we focus on decentralized science very aggressively. And if you don't hit that like button or subscribe already, right now is your cue to go do that. We're live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so make sure you are there for the morning live streams because you'll get more information, more of a raw version of me, and they're just fun. I don't know. I just want you to join. The IP generated from the research. So you fund research, they come up with results. Those results can either lead to a drug therapy or not. If they lead to a drug therapy, you go ahead and create that drug therapy, and then any of the revenue or an agreed upon section of that revenue goes back into the DAO's treasury. Once any of these 4 revenue models are actually generating revenue, it will be distributed such as this: 40% for the treasury, 30% for a token burn, and 30% for the scientists. So the token burn is specifically talking about the Psi token, which is what we've been talking about this entire time. I think it's really fun that they're issuing a token burn for obvious reasons, but that's all of this is to do with the Psi token. None of this has been talking about the PO token, which is proof of governance NFT. So this will be a non-tradable NFT, which you get once you stake your Psi tokens and vote in the different governance rounds. You'll be getting PO NFTs. These you can exchange for Psi. You can exchange them for merch, conference tickets, or discounts on different products in the future. Not all of those, but you pick one, whatever one you want, right? So that's pretty cool. That's an incentivization model to get people to actually contribute, stake, and use the Psi token for what its purpose is, not just to hold it and speculate on the success of the DAO. So I'm very excited for this. I think it's a really good play within crypto, within decentralized science. There was one more thing, which hopefully I can remember. The last thing I was going to talk about is their 2024 roadmap. So the end of Q3 and for Q4. So all this is to be completed before the end of the year. So they are right now auditing the token smart contract, initiating the raise that we talked about for the early community sale, the Pink Sale, Fjord Foundry, and Uniswap. And then they're designing and conceptualizing the WEDEA and the We Cura, which is their unique a unique model for them for the ownership of IP. So take the I out of inventor. This is very interesting and I encourage you to go read it. Again, everything you see today is going to be in the description of the video so that you can go ahead and look for it yourself, because I encourage you not to just follow blindly for people and things you see on the internet. In Q4, they will be audit staking. They'll do the DAO operations and research funding. They'll deploy the DApp on base and open the funding proposals to initiate actually funding some science. So their aim is by the end of the year to fund the initial cohort of research projects and then fully develop out the model for the IP, which is going to be key if they're actually going to research anything, because they need to have that agreement in place before they give them the researchers any of the money. So again, PoSciDon DAO people, hopefully this video was worth investing your time into. As you know, it is the most valuable asset you have, and I will see you guys in the next video.